When Maruti Suzuki launched the Swift in India way back in 2005, little did know it would set a benchmark for all other offerings in the segment to be evaluated against. Now, the Swift isn't and wasn't perfect, but still it managed to rake in the sales figures for Maruti, far surpassing the competition. The i20 had a similar story. Made initially for export, it became such a roaring success in India that even Hyundai hadn't expected it to clock such high sales figures. Both the cars are in their second generation in India. The new gen Swift was launched in 2011 and was given a refresh in 2014. The Elite i20 is the newer offering among the two, which was launched in late 2014. These two cars are virtually irreplaceable in their respective company portfolios. Let's take a look at what they bring to the table in this comparo between the segment leader, the Swift, and the Elite i20. Design-wise, the Swift is an evolution of the first generation. It looks like a much more mature, grown-up version of the old one. It does retain the styling quirks in form of these large swept-back headlamps, prominent grille, and the 3-slat air dam. The Elite i20, on the other hand, looks nothing like the car it replaced. It follows Hyundai's much appreciated Fluidic 2.0 design philosophy. The front sports a prominent hexagonal air dam and a slim grille. The grille is flanked by aggressive-looking headlamps with subtle silver accents. The side profile of the Maruti is unmistakably Swift. The window line swoops up towards the rear door of the car. This does make the rear windows a size smaller than we'd have liked it, but it does look good. The C-pillar is relatively narrow and the tail lamps cut into the rear quarter panel quite a bit. The side profile of the Elite i20 is characterized by the sloping roofline and the blacked out C-pillar, which looks a tad bit out of place to be honest. The tail lamps mimic an LED setup which looks simple and almost European. Though both cars look contemporary and fresh, we like the Hyundai. The design is better and turns more heads than a Swift would. Although, we do wish that the i20 came equipped with the projector headlamps as seen on the i20 Active. Let's take a quick look at the dimensions of both the cars. Both cars have improved by leaps and bounds when it comes to the interiors. The quality of materials used in both the cars have definitely gone up by a notch. The Swift feels nicely put together, especially so by Maruti standards. The interiors on the car are predominantly black, with silver accents being used conservatively to accentuate the finer details. The 3-spoke steering wheel feels good to hold and has buttons for the infotainment system and Bluetooth telephony in the topmost variant. The interiors on the Hyundai, on the other hand, is finished in a dual tone with a beige upper portion and a black lower portion, which gives it an upmarket feel. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather and has audio and call controls. The dashboard on the Swift follows a waterfall theme and neatly integrates the AC vents, the music system and the automatic climate control in a seamless manner. The 2-DIN music system supports USB and aux inputs over the standard radio and CD player. There are adequate storage spaces around the cabin of the Swift to store those bottles and other knickknacks. The center console of the Hyundai, however, is a plethora of buttons. It looks a bit too cluttered, more so because of the small screen size of the infotainment system. Feature-wise, the Elite i22 gets USB and aux inputs as standard, along with 1 GB of internal storage. Coming to the seating, the Swift possibly has the best front seats in the segment. The position is spot on and the side bolstering and the lower back support is as good as it can get in this segment. The front seats on the i20, however, do tend to get uncomfortable over long journeys. The rear seats on the Maruti are rather forgettable. There's a clear lack in legroom and the headroom isn't great either thanks to the sloping roofline. Seating 3 in the back seat of the Swift is quite a task. The Elite i20 easily trumps the Maruti when it comes to rear seat space. It definitely has better legroom and headroom among the two. The rear also gets AC vents, a cool bonus point for the i20 over the Maruti. 3 passengers would comparatively be more comfortable in the rear bench of the Hyundai than the Maruti. It is key to note that the steering on the Hyundai can be adjusted for reach and height, while the Swift only gets height adjustment. Also, the i20 gets a chilled glove box, more bonus points to the Hyundai. Coming to the boot space, the Hyundai gets a massive 285-litre boot. The Swift's 204-litre boot doesn't seem like much in comparison. Both the cars have a substantial loading lip and the loading bay is considerably high when compared to sedans, but it's a small thing to get used to. Under the hood of the Swift is the 1.2-litre K-Series petrol engine that produces 84 bhp and 115 Nm of torque. The Elite i20 also sports a 1.2-litre engine producing 82 bhp and a similar 115 Nm. The new 1.2-litre engine on the Swift is not as much fun to drive as the old 1.3. The engine is peppy and responsive and is extremely fun to drive around in the city. The i20, however, feels slightly sluggish in comparison owing to its extra weight. The power is at the top of the rev range and both the cars need to be revved hard to get any sort of performance out of them. In terms of sheer drivability, the Swift trumps the Elite i20 thanks to its rev-happy motor. Both the cars are highly refined with very less engine noise filtering into the cabin, but it's the Elite i20 that is the quieter among the two on the inside. Coming to the handling, the Swift has a beautifully weighted steering that feels very direct and intuitive to use. It is fun to push the Swift into those twisties because the steering feedback is amazing. The steering on the Hyundai is less direct comparatively, but it is a delight to use in the city since it's light. The same trait becomes an issue on the highway since the steering tends to be a shade too light for a comfortable cruise. The ride quality on either of the cars is same, though we would give the edge to the Elite i20 in terms of overall passenger comfort. The Swift is the more frugal among the two with a claimed efficiency of 20.4 km to the litre compared to the Elite i20's 18.6. Now, both cars have their fair share of positives and negatives. While one excels in space and comfort, the other excels in driving dynamics. Both cars would do reasonably well in day-to-day city traffic and gobble up the highways on the occasional weekend trip. But if you absolutely had to choose between the two, here's the answer. The Elite i20 is better than the Maruti Swift in almost every single aspect. It is better on equipment, decently fun to drive, and if you have more than two people to ferry around with their luggage, the i20 does not budge one bit. The i20 is a definite pick amongst the two, for it manages to be the jack of all trades. So there you have it, a head-to-head between two of the highest selling B2 hatchbacks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and do like, comment and share the video.